Good morning. It's Shaunte Parker from Bennett Realty Solutions, and it is Tip Tuesday. And I'm here to talk to you about your being an entrepreneur, your wealth, as well as your retirement. So this Tip Tuesday is really for anyone because even if you have a full-time job, you may have a side business where you are. Good morning, Lawrence. Where you are needing this information. So this information is really important, and I hope you take a listen and share it, share it, share it. So I started thinking about this today because last week was my birthday. Thank you for all of the beautiful, heartfelt, loving birthday messages you guys sent me. I really appreciate it. I was full of love and inspiration, and I was just really happy to hear from each and every one of you. Thank you to the ladies who came out and celebrated with me this week. We're having a party this Sunday at OTI. So if you have not purchased your ticket yet and you want to come and have some cocktails and get your dance on with the birthday girl, please do so. It's a day party from 4 to 8 with live entertainment, and it's going to be fun. So you can tag me to get that information. Not tag me, but inbox me to get that information. So moving right along for Tip Tuesday. So I turned 48 last week, and I was looking at my entrepreneur journey and just thinking about, am I prepared for the future? In 2 years, I'll be 50 years old, and am I prepared? Am I prepared financially? Am I prepared mentally? What have I done? So I stopped working over 9 years ago for an actual job. I stopped working in 2000, 2008. And during that time, when I was a full-time employee, I had, life insurance, I had health insurance benefits, I had all the things disability, I had all the things that you get from your employer when you have a job. However, when you are an entrepreneur, those things you have to do yourself. Stacy, you're watching, and I know you know exactly what I mean. You have to do all that stuff yourself. So my life insurance, I have to pay for that monthly. My health insurance, I have to pay for that monthly. My savings plan, if I have a 401k or a solo 401k, I have to feed that. My college savings plan for my daughter, I have to feed that. So it's so many different places my money needs to go, because at the end of the day, if I don't do those things, I could wake up at 62 one day and say, oh my God, how am I going to feed myself or take care of myself because I don't have any money? And something really sad happened last year. I met a woman who was 77 years old actually, and she had to sell her house because she could no longer afford her mortgage. And she was only making $900 a month. That was all the Social Security. That's all the money that was paid into Social Security on her behalf, and that was all she was living off of. And her mortgage payment was more than that. And so it was impossible. Hey, Sophie, it was impossible for her to eat, pay her mortgage, pay her for her medicines. It was impossible. And I looked at her and thought to myself, oh my God, if I don't really seriously focus on this, I could end up being a senior citizen and my child having to either take care of me, or I'm still working at 77. She was still trying to find a job and could barely walk at 77. And I do not want to be that person. I'm sure nobody wants to be that person. So here's the few things that you should think about. Number one, what is your retirement? How are you planning for your retirement? Do you have a 401k with your employer? If you're an entrepreneur, do you have a solo 401k that you're putting money into? Do you have life insurance? We don't want to see any GoFundMe accounts if something happens to you. Do you have life insurance, and who are your beneficiaries? Have you set it up so your life insurance is able to take care of your dependents? Like for me, Sakai, who's going to take care of her? I need to account for that with the amount of life insurance that I have. So that's very important. Do you have a college savings plan? Do you have a 503b, or there are other vehicles that you can use for a college savings plan? So for me, I have a universal life policy for Sakai that I'm paying into, and at some point she will be able to start withdrawing that money and get a certain amount of money per month at a certain point in her life. And do you have a pension? Like, I was really surprised. I worked for 22 years as a teacher, and basically I don't have a pension. And I don't even know. I've been trying to get into the Social Security system to see if I'll get Social Security, but hey, I might not. So this whole thing may just be on my back. And also, not thinking about just that. What about your living? expenses. Do you have a will set up? Do you have a living will set up in case something happens to you or you get injured and you can't speak for yourself? Have you designated instructions? Do you have a will? Do you have a person that would be your power of attorney who can speak on your behalf, who can access your accounts? Do you have disability insurance? For a realtor, that's really important because we have to go up and down stairs. And if I can't do that, I won't get any pay. So I need to have disability insurance. If you own a home like I do, you think about things like mortgage protection. Have you accounted for that in your life insurance policy, or do you have a separate policy just for mortgage protection? So in the case something happens to me, my daughter won't be able to pay a mortgage by herself. I will need to account for that in my beneficiary package that I'm setting up for her. Also, in terms of your home, when you pass on your house, there's a process called the probate process, and many of us realtors, we target the probate market because that is a good place to find people who need to sell a home, because oftentimes the relative is left with this home that they can't afford and the only option is to sell it. So if you would make an accounting for that prior to your demise, for example, maybe putting the house in a trust, and so your beneficiary, the house is safe within the trust without having to go to probate court and all your creditors and all these people come forward to try to get some of the equity. If you put it in a trust, that would be a good way to protect the house. And I don't know this stuff on my own. I've sought out expert advice from various people. I have an insurance person, Ernest Bridges. I have a financial planner, Tavon Jackson, who's amazing. And I also have an estate planning attorney that I use. And so all of that information is available. I can share it with you if you're interested in talking to any of these professionals. They can help you. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, how are you setting up your bank accounts? Do you have an LLC or S Corp or even an incorporation? You cannot mix up your funds. That happened to me. It got audited by the IRS. Not a fun thing. So you need to have an LLC account, an S Corp account, or incorporation account. I personally have an LLC account, but you need to do that really soon, and you need to get your tax ID number, and you need to keep your personal and your business completely separate. So what other type of wealth plan do you have? Do you have a financial planner? Do you have a person that you sit down and you talk about this? It's like getting a checkup when you go to the doctor. You need to check on your finances, and you need to make sure everything is in line. So in case something happens to you, or even if it doesn't, anything happens to you, you just don't want to end up at retirement age and look around and say, where did all my money go? Because I don't have any left to take care of myself. So it's really important that you get great people. I have another person who does taxes. Her name is Angela Floyd from Intelligence Tax Solutions. She's available to help you as well. So these are things that you need to think about as an entrepreneur. If you have a side business, one of my clients right now, I'm currently I wrote a contract and we're waiting to see what happens. But this house is $659,000, and her mortgage payment is going to be about $4,000 a month. And yes, she has a job and she does consulting on the side, but we were talking about ways that she can make that payment more affordable, like talking to a tax person, like setting up an office space in her house, creating some additional write-offs that she wouldn't normally have, but she does have as an entrepreneur. How about, hey, making sure that she is able to get a tax ID number and officially set the business up, so she's able to write off those things. So those are things that I've personally done myself. I used to have a tutoring business in my house, and I wrote off my office space in my home as part of my business expense. So there's many, many, many things that you can do. So if you have any questions, if you are interested in selling a home or purchasing a home, and you want to also open a business and you want to know how that you can benefit from that as being a homeowner, I can certainly talk to you about that. I would love to. So I try to make Tip Tuesdays short. I am so excited to be 48 years old. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. So this year is about Shaunte taking 48. I am taking it on. I'm taking it by the neck, and I'm just going to, hold on to it as hard as I can, because I'm taking back my time. I'm taking back my life. I'm taking back my health. I'm taking back my wealth. And I want to empower others as I go along this journey. So, hey, take the ride with me. I'm here. I'm accepting new clients. I made a post about that earlier today. So if you know anybody that's selling, buying, wanting to invest, whatever they want to do, I'm your girl. I'm here waiting on them to call me. My contact information is below. And you guys have a fantastic day. Until next Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday too, if you didn't know that. I'm going to be making tacos for my daughter later on today. But for anybody who knows me, you know how much I love Cinco de Mayo. That is why I'm having a party on Sunday for the finale of my birthday. It's Sunday, May 5th, and it's going to be at Old Town Inn in Largo. We're going to have tequila and margaritas, and it is going to be amazing. So hopefully you will join us. Tickets are $20, $25 at the door. Contact me for that too. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.